Happy Friday! We made it to the weekend. Well, almost made it to the weekend. We still have to get through today. It is Friday, the 19th day of March, 2021. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley is on the air. I am Dan Kuntz. This is the last day of winter with the vernal equinox coming our way in the wee small hours tomorrow morning, or tonight, if you will. 2:37 a.m. on Saturday is the actual equinox, and from this point forward, or from that point forward, we're into spring, and we could put winter into the books, and it's going to feel spring-like. We're going to cool down quite a bit. We got all the way to 62 yesterday. First time since early November that we were above the 60-degree mark. 62 yesterday. Felt pretty good, but it's going to be cooler today by quite a bit, and even cooler still over the weekend. There is a cold front that came in late into the afternoon, into the early evening hours. Had a little bit of light rain here in the Wenatchee Valley, almost not enough to even measure on the rain gauge, but it's exactly what the National Weather Service predicted. So kudos to them. And so the cold front's passing through. It's already working its way towards Spokane. We have clear skies. Going to be a little breezy over the weekend. Basically, it's going to feel like early spring this weekend. Forecast details are coming up. We also have quite a bit of news to get to. Sports will preview the Pear Bowl. We will be there in Cashmere tonight as the Bulldogs take on the Kodiaks in the Pear Bowl. Looking forward to that. Grant and Eric with the call. We'll have that live right here on the NCW Live channel. We'll take to the air at 6:30, and we'll get going at 7 o'clock tonight. We'll talk about that and a lot of sports. Busy sports day today. And everything else you need to start your day. We always do this with Bonnie Orr on the solstices and the equinoxes, so 4 times a year, sometimes even more. If conditions warrant, Bonnie Orr pays me a visit to talk about the do's and don'ts for the upcoming season, and in this case, of course, it's spring. Your yard and garden do's and don'ts from Bonnie Orr will come your way in the back half of the hour. We taped it down at the Xeriscape Garden at Riverfront Park a couple days ago. Good to see Bonnie, and we'll have that for you. So we'll get ready to do a little gardening, but not yet. That's the first thing Bonnie will tell you is it's too early to start doing stuff. All right, we gotta let Mother Nature have a little bit more time. All right, 2.5 minutes after the hour, the sun is up. Let's get going. Actually, it comes up in about 2 more minutes, 7:05. Sunrise this morning, sunset tonight, 7:13, 12 hours and 8 minutes of daylight. I like these longer days. Beautiful view from the cross camera at the very tip of Wenatchee Heights. Look way off into the distance in the right side of your screen, way, way off there. You can barely make it out. That's like the Chelan area. I mean, what a spectacular view that is. The snow continues to recede from the foothills in and around the Wenatchee Valley, but still a lot of snow in the Cascades and in some locations. Camera number 2, Megan's choice. Where does she want to go today? Megan wants to visit Union Valley. It's Union Valley. It's not pronounced Union Valley. It's just pronounced Union Valley. High above the north shore of Lake Chelan. Looks like she's got that pointed about to the west, roughly. Beautiful view. The lake, of course, is way down this time of the year as they start topping it off as the snow melt comes down from the upper North Cascades through Stehekin and starts filling up the lake, and then they can control it. It's an amazing engineering feat. I wish I knew more about it. All I know is that I think it's pretty cool. They can actually determine how much water is in the lake at any time of the given year. Camera number 3. It's off to the Omi Gardens camera, looking up the Columbia River, Rocky Reach Dam, hanging around there. Of course, the visitor center, they're remodeling the whole thing, and that's going to be really cool when that reopens. So good morning to Rocky Reach Dam, Baker Flats area, Lake Aniat, and all parts to the north of us from Omi Gardens. And camera number 4. Ooh, let me think here. This is, I'm seeing, I want to say Upper Butte. Yay! I went 4 for 4. Upper Butte, so the camera is high above Lake Chelan, but it's pointing almost directly to the east. So what we're looking at is the Waterville Plateau, which, as you can see, is still covered in snow and a couple of little spots of snow here and there. I mean, that's 4,000 feet up there, so it's cooler. And, you know, when the slopes that don't get direct sunlight is still going to have some snow lingering around. So from the Upper Butte of Lake Chelan, we will say good morning to our friends in Waterville, 5 minutes after the hour from the National Weather Service. Here we go. 56 today, which is going to be cooler than what we hit yesterday. Again, we got to 62, but the rain and the cold front that came in brought in some cooler air, which is why we're not going to get as warm as we did yesterday. So just quite a bit of sunshine, a little breezy at times, a little breezy tonight. We're going to cloud up this evening, getting down to about 35. No precipitation in the forecast. They were thinking maybe we could get some light rain tonight. They've taken that off the board. Sunshine Saturday, about 55. It's going to be a little breezy at times on Saturday. That 55-degree mark is just about normal for this time of year. Saturday night, going to cloud back up again, 35 for the overnight low. So it's the best case scenario. During the day, sunshine. At night, clouds. So we can deal with that. With the exception to that is going to be Sunday, mostly cloudy with a high of 51 for the first full day of spring. So it's going to be below normal, right around 51 or 52 on Sunday. Mixture of clouds and sun Monday, still hanging around that 54, 55-degree mark. Then we have a weak ridge of high pressure. It's going to be flat, but it's going to hang around long enough to give us quite a bit of sunshine and slightly warmer conditions Tuesday and Wednesday, and really spilling right on into Thursday. It basically looks very much like late winter, early spring, which is exactly where we are. Mountain passes. Stevens got a little bit of snow, as predicted, overnight, but we'll start out with I-90, the most heavily traveled of our state's passes. No advisories, no restrictions. The roadway is bare and dry. They had a little bit of light snow. It didn't stick to the roadway, but it did on Stevens. So they have a traction tire advisory, as you can see. Compact snow and ice on the roadway. It's not snowing right now on Stevens. That's going to change, and I'll tell you about that here in just a couple minutes. And as we mentioned before, as far as the traction tire advisory on Stevens is concerned, that's usually just the last 5 or 6 miles on either side of the summit. And there's Blewett. You're fine. Roadway is bare and wet with some frost and ice in places. They had light snow. It didn't stick. Passes are going to get a little bit of snow tonight, not a lot, 1 to maybe 2 inches of snow in the mountain passes tonight. They're going to catch a break on Saturday, a couple of inches of snow on Sunday afternoon, and then Sunday night, as that system comes through that's going to cool us down a little bit, they're expecting anywhere from 3 to 7 inches of snow in the mountain passes at pass level on Sunday night. So if you're traveling into the mountain passes Sunday night to wrap up your weekend, it could get a little dicey. Right now, the only advisory is Stevens. Traction tires are advised. 7 minutes after the hour, 1 minute break. When we come back, we got your Friday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Having a relationship with your pediatrician is so important. Feeling that sense of trust, that is priceless. I tell everybody about CBCH. I love it there. When I make an appointment, I don't have to take an entire day off. As a working mom, my life is really busy. Family time is everything. That's what we all work towards. And I feel like CBCH respects that.
It's March, and Click It RV Moses Lake has gone mad with huge discounts on a huge selection of top brand RVs, which means the lowest prices, factory incentives, and rebates.
You guys gotta beat the spring rush and get in here now.
Shop online and find the floor plan you like, then build it, price it, and click it. Or come to our huge selection, from travel trailers to fifth wheels, toy haulers to motorhomes. The huge indoor-outdoor RV show is here. Get a better RV and the lowest price guarantee only at Click It RV Moses Lake and ClickItRV.com.
Be a winner like me and get the Click It RV.
39 degrees outside of our studios. Bountiful sunshine today, mid-50s. We'll have sunshine again on Saturday, highs in the mid-50s, slightly cooler and pretty cloudy on Sunday. And at 9 minutes after the hour, here are your headlines. State revenue, the state revenue forecast, they say it's going to grow about $3.3 billion over the next couple of years. It's according to projections Wednesday from the State Economic and Revenue Forecast Council. 12th District State Senator Brad Hawkins joined fellow Republicans in pointing to the strong sales tax collections as proof that there's no need for a capital gains tax. By a vote of 25 to 24, the state Senate approved a 7% capital gains tax earlier this month. It now awaits action in the House. The Forecast Council said tax collections are growing at levels projected prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. Sales tax collections are strong, as are business and occupation tax payments, and in addition, the state is in line to receive an injection of federal COVID-19 relief payments. Restrictions on public access on the Capitol campus in Olympia have started to ease. In fact, starting yesterday, pedestrians can now move through the area during limited hours using access gates. The State Patrol locked down the area to foot traffic back in January following incursions at the governor's mansion, as well as the deadly insurrection at the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. A Seattle man who assaulted journalists at the governor's mansion He was sentenced, by the way, this week to 6 months in jail. 8th District Congresswoman Kim Schreier got a chance to question the nation's top infectious disease doctor on Wednesday. Dr. Anthony Fauci sat for questions with the House MD Oversight and Investigations Committee. Schreier, who's also a pediatrician, asked Fauci and CDC Director Rochelle Walensky about increasing the availability and safety of COVID-19 vaccines and the need for more rapid testing to control the coronavirus.
I'm not speaking as a member of Congress, I'm speaking as a doctor. I told my own parents that when they go for their coronavirus vaccine, they should take whichever one is offered because they all prevent hospitalization and death essentially equally. So just to be very clear, Dr. Fauci, doctor to doctor, would you agree?
I would agree totally with what you told your parents. Absolutely. We have 3 highly efficacious vaccines. And importantly, as you correctly told them, they are all 3 of them superb at preventing hospitalizations and deaths. So whatever you told your parents was correct, doctor.
Thank you very much. If COVID's going to be with us for a while, vaccination is critical, but I also believe we need a much greater ability to test asymptomatic people, test them early, catch them early, and prevent outbreaks that could land us right back in the same situation. So for example, if we had widely available, inexpensive home testing, people could test themselves and stay home if they're infected. I'm thinking schools, workplaces, and we could catch the disease early and prevent outbreaks. So Dr. Fauci, do you agree it would be useful to add some degree of routine home testing in addition to vaccinations to our public health toolbox?
I not only agree with that, Dr. Schreier, I actually have been saying that for months and months and months, that we should be literally flooding the system with easily accessible, cheap, not needing a prescription, point of care, highly sensitive and highly specific, that we could do just what you are saying. And in fact, you're going to be seeing more of that soon.
Okanagan County may join a 3-way partnership on horticultural pests and disease along with Chelan and Douglas counties. Since 2011, Chelan and Douglas Orchard Health has been overseen by a joint program. Okanagan County Commissioners say they're close to a formal agreement for a 3-county control board. They say the proposal makes sense because all 3 counties have productive tree fruit industries that face the same challenges, from codling moths to apple maggots. Chelan County has delayed reopening a pair of roads because of snow. Chelan County Public Works says Oklahoma Gulch Road outside of Aniat and Mountain Home Road outside of Leavenworth will remain closed until further notice. Horse Lake Road outside Wenatchee scheduled to reopen on April 1st, but the county says they're going to do an evaluation at the end of March to see if that closure also needs to be extended. Horse Lake Road is closed seasonally in conjunction with the Sage Hills Trail System for the protection of migrating mule deer. The Wenatchee swimming pool scheduled to reopen on June 12th after being closed by the COVID-19 pandemic all of last year. Wenatchee Parks Director Dave Erickson said the city has been making plans for the reopening even as state guidelines and requirements have been revised. In recent weeks, he said there will be some changes to the normal schedule, including requiring reservations to swim. Erickson said additional swim classes will be added in order to comply with occupancy requirements, and early pre-opening activities at the pool will not be held this year, but circle that date, June 12th. And that's what's making headlines. At 14 minutes after the hour, it's going to be a busy day for myself and Grant and Eric, because not only do we have a newscast to put together for you, we have a football game to broadcast as well. But first things first, the news at 5, 6, and 10 with a preview. Here's Grant Olson.
Thanks and good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, a bit cooler and a bit breezy as we head into the upcoming weekend. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom will have more on yesterday's swim meet between Wenatchee, Eastmont, and Moses Lake. That and all the day's news stories coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. And don't forget, if you have a news tip or you want to drop us a line, look at the bottom of your screen. You can use our Facebook page. Just go to NCW Life's Facebook page and drop us a note via Facebook Messenger. You can email us directly, news at ncwlife.com. And if you go to our homepage, ncwlife.com, first of all, you want to bookmark it because we populate it with news and weather and the things that you need to know on a daily basis. But there's also a way by using our homepage to get a hold of us. Just fill out the form and it's down the road you go. All right, quarter after the hour, we're going to take a break. When we come back, sports and quite a bit of it. The obscure holiday today in history, some celebrity birthdays. Everyone is entitled to Mike Mignotti's opinion. And spring has almost sprung. Bonnie Orr is going to tell you what you need to know to get your lawn and garden ready to go for the warmer and sunnier weather. That's coming up as well. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
We should have done this months ago.
Yeah. Wonder where that power line came from.
Wait, I've seen this before. Doug, right?
What's up? I don't know, maybe a tree fell on the line?
It's cool. I'll just go move it.
Ooh, that's a bad idea. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it an 11.
Yikes.
Yeah, 911, we've got a down power line.
That was close.
Doghouse Motorsports just won Best Motorsports Store for the 7th year in a row. Is it the great facility? Is it the fantastic products? Or is it?
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Tamer.
I'm Mike. And I'm Glenn.
Hi, I'm Todd.
I'm Jeff.
And this is the Doghouse Service Team.
Hi, I'm Dee.
And I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Kathy.
Come on in and experience the Doghouse.
Are you in the Doghouse?
"17 minutes after the hour on this Friday. Tragic news in the world of sports. Brewster High School standout athlete and all-state basketball star Cade Gebbers has died. The school district's Facebook page reads, and I'm quoting now, "The Brewster Bear family lost one of its very own yesterday. Cade Gebbers will forever be remembered as a loving son, great friend, and wonderful teammate. He brought so much life, joy, and charisma to those that knew him on and off the court. He will be sorely missed, and our hearts are broken. Prayers for their family and our community are greatly appreciated," end quote. He was a 6'3" senior. He led Brewster to the 2B state championship last year, MVP All-League, MVP state tournament, 2B player of the year. He had a 3.9 GPA and was entertaining offers from numerous colleges to continue his basketball career. He was 19 years old. No word on how he passed away. The parable came to be when the editors of the Leavenworth Echo and the Kashmir Valley Record decided that the annual rivalry game between Cascade and Kashmir needed a name and a trophy. So they have one. It's now the Pear Bowl. Cascade won the first ever Pear Bowl back in 1991, 26-21, but since then, the series and the trophy have pretty much been in the trophy case at Kashmir High School. The Bulldogs have won 18 of the next 26 meetings, but in 2019, the last time these two teams played, the Kodiaks snapped a 4-year run by Kashmir. They won 33-28. This is an extraordinarily prideful moment, as you might imagine, for the players and the coach who call Leavenworth home.
You know, we've had the feeling of them taking it every year for a while now, just that 2014 year. So now that it's here, we want to keep it here, and I'm just going to keep running with my head down and keep working because it wasn't a fluke. We worked hard, and I think we worked hard for this one, so we're going to go in and try and get a win.
Nothing's normal about this week. There's more energy, there's more excitement. We're ready to just go tear heads. We're ready to go.
Okay, what's going to be key for you guys, do you think, to be able to come out on top?
We're just going to have to make plays on offense and hold them on defense and go out there and play hard.
Kodiak coach Dominic Coffin says he's trying to focus his team on fundamentals, and he doesn't want to overhype the game, but he also knows what's on the line tonight.
Yeah, in a rivalry game, it's always different. I mean, it's every year. It doesn't matter what records are; those are thrown out the window. I mean, it's Kashmir versus Cascade. It's always going to be a battle, and for us, it's really controlling the ball and making sure we take care of it, and winning the turnover battle would be huge.
So we talked to two guys that I know you're leaning on to play well for you. What else needs to happen for you in order to win this game?
Our defense is going to have to show up. I mean, they have a very big offensive line, so our D-line is going to really have to stay low. DBs are going to have to play smart as their quarterback's really good. And then offensively, it's just making sure we can consistently move the ball, making sure we're not going 3 and out. I mean, that's where you kind of lose your momentum, so really keeping drives going.
As far as the Bulldogs from Kashmir is concerned, losing the Pear Bowl trophy back in 2019 has helped focus their drive this week.
Oh yeah, that's firing us up. We want that Pear trophy back, so having that back means a lot to us.
I know tradition runs real deep for both of these programs, especially for Kashmir, and you guys had dominated that series for so long, and then you lose that. Was that something that is shocking? Is it, oh boy, that's a wake-up call for you guys?
It really was. I mean, last year we have the same team. We were pretty good, and we just did not perform that day. So losing that trophy does really mentally affect you. It just makes you kind of angry inside about it.
Kashmir coach Brian Bremer was just in his second year leading the Bulldogs when they lost to Cascade. He admits that loss haunts him to this day.
No, I told the guys in our Monday meeting that out of all the games in my 2 years here, that's the one I'm still not over. And that's bad to say, but I was pretty vulnerable with those guys. That's the one that's just, it just sticks in my mind. I probably still will until I retire. Just a difficult way to lose, and these guys are ready for the challenge. I'm ready for the challenge, and I can't wait to watch these guys play. You know, and I tried to hide from it my first couple years here, was really just like, you know, there's no game too big, you know, and it's just another football game, but it's not. Yeah. I mean, it means a lot to this community, to both communities, and again, it's just so much fun to play for something like that. You know, to play for a trophy, to play for something where both communities are so involved and love it so much, whether it's football, whether it's just community against community for bragging rights, that's special. That's really fun.
The 27th edition of the Pear Bowl tonight. It is Cascade and Kashmir. We will have it right here on this very television station. Eric and Grant will begin our coverage at 6:30, kickoff at 7 o'clock. Waterville Mansfield kicked off the football weekend last night on the road at Soap Lake, and it was a barn burner. The Eagles trailed 32-18 at the end of the third quarter, but they came storming back with the victory, 46-40, to hand the Shockers their first loss of the season. Soap Lake improves, by the way, to 2-1 with the victory. 2/3 of the football weekend will be played around the region tonight. Eastmont will travel to Moses Lake. Wenatchee will host the powerful Royal Knights. Of course, Cascade and Kashmir will have that here on the NCW Live channel. Manson travels to Lake Roosevelt, while Luke, scheduled to play at Brewster. Quincy will host Omak. Bridgeport will play Elmira, Cooley, Heartline, Bachman Turner Overdrive. All the games kick off at 7 o'clock tonight. And then tomorrow, Antioch will host Liberty Bell, and Tenasket will visit Oroville at 1 o'clock. And at 7 tomorrow night, you have Ephrata hosting Chelan. Busy weekend for volleyball around the region. Wenatchee and Kashmir will be at Cascade. Eastmont and Ephrata gather at Omak, and Moses Lake and Chelan will play at Quincy High School. Royal and Manson head for Lake Roosevelt. Waterville Mansfield will host Elmira Cooley Hardline, and Wilson Creek, Bridgeport, and Moses Lake Christian will visit Soap Lake. And up in Tenasket, the Tigers will play host to Liberty Bell and Okanagan. We have a really good soccer matchup tomorrow. I'm looking forward to this. The 6-0 Eastmont Wildcats will host the 5-1 Wenatchee Panthers at Wildcat Stadium at 1 o'clock. These two teams met earlier at Leiboftel Field at the Apple Bowl, and it went to a shootout before Eastmont won. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wiesen have the pregame 12:50, and they'll start at 1 o'clock. Other action Saturday on the pitch at 11 a.m. You got Cascade traveling to Okanagan. Chelan will host Omak. The other 1 o'clock games, besides Eastmont and Wenatchee, has Moses Lake hosting Ephrata, Quincy at Kashmir, Warden entertaining Brewster, and Pateris traveling to Bridgeport. Gonzaga will take on Norfolk State in the first round of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. It'll be tomorrow night at 6:20. Norfolk State beat Appalachian State 54-53 in the first four to advance. Earlier in the day, Eastern Washington will face Kansas at 10:15 on TBS. The Zags game will also be shown, by the way, on TBS. The NCAA women's basketball tournament gets underway Sunday for the Cougars. They'll take on South Florida in round number 1, 6:30 on ESPN2. Gonzaga is off until Monday. They'll take on Belmont at 1 o'clock on ESPN2. 13 days until opening day of the baseball season. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 24 minutes after the hour, 5 obscure holidays cross my desk, but we only get to pick one. Today is National Poultry Day, National Chocolate Caramel Day, National Certified Nurses Day. Is there such a thing as an uncertified nurse? I don't know. National Farm Rescuer Day, but nope, it's Let's Laugh Day. Let's laugh. Laughter is good for you. It's been proven. There's a lot of health benefits to laughing. Just a few minutes of laughter can reduce blood pressure. It increases your immunity. It boosts your heart rate. If you watch or read something that's humorous right before you go to bed, you have a tendency to sleep better and longer. Laughing burns calories. That's pretty good. People who laugh a lot are seen by their peers as pretty happy, pretty friendly. They have more friends and have no real problems assimilating themselves into different social groups. But this is sobering. The older you get, the less you laugh. This is true. The average toddler laughs about 400 times a day. The average adult laughs about 20 times a day. You can do better than that. Let's laugh today. I'm all for that. I'm always up for a good laugh, as my coworkers will attest to. 26 minutes after the hour. That is the SS Georgiana, the most powerful Confederate cruiser that there was. They built it for the Confederate States of America to fight the Union in the Civil War. And on this date in 1863, at the height of the Civil War, 158 years ago today, on its maiden voyage. What is it with ships and maiden voyages and sinking? Well, the SS Georgiana went to the bottom of the sea. It was destroyed on her maiden voyage. It had munitions, medicines, and merchandise valued at the time of well over $1 million, which was a lot of money in 1863. But ironically enough, exactly 102 years after it went to the bottom of the sea, they found it. Yeah, March 19th, 1965. 56 years ago today, the wreck of the Georgiana was found by a teenage diver. I think we have his photo. His name was E. Lee Spence, and he's the one who actually found the wreck. They've been looking at it forever, and he said, I think it's here, and he went out and found it. There he is with some of his booty. The ironic thing, it was exactly 102 years after it sank that the wreck of the Georgiana was actually found by a 19-year-old diver. The value of the munitions and the cargo and the merchandise back in 1863 was worth about $1 million. The stuff that he found was worth about $50 million. And he got to keep most of it because he found it. Founders keepers. And what's the Confederate States going to do? Can we have our stuff back? Oh, that's right. We haven't been around for 100 years. 55 years ago today, basketball history, sports history was made. Texas Western, they're now known as Texas El Paso, but at the time they were Texas Western, became the first college basketball team to win the national championship. All 5 members of the starting lineup were African American. History was made 55 years ago today. They beat Kentucky for the national championship. In fact, the Texas Western victory in 1966 was the only time between 1964 and 1973 that UCLA did not win the national championship. And finally, 42 years ago today, C-SPAN. There it is, March 19th, 1979. C-SPAN begins operations when they televise the United States House of Representatives doing their day-to-day business. C-SPAN is 42 years old today. The sales of hairpieces, I think, skyrocketed in the greater Washington, D.C. area. It's a great way to punish your kids, by the way. If the kids are misbehaving, you make them sit down and watch C-SPAN for about a half an hour. They'll whip themselves right into shape. Government TV. Cures what ails you. 29 minutes after the hour, birthdays. The great Earl Warren, longtime governor of California, and of course, eventually the Chief Justice of the United States, the 14th Chief Justice of the United States, terribly underrated not only as a politician, but as a jurist, born in the state in 1891, died in 1974. Wasn't considered a really great Chief Justice, but he was able to get the other 8 members of the Brethren pretty much to see things his way. And of course, some of the most seminal Supreme Court decisions ever was under the leadership of Earl Warren, starting out with Brown v. Board of Education, Gideon Wainwright, Reynolds v. Sims, Miranda v. Arizona, all under the leadership of the great Earl Warren. I read his biography, Justice for All. It's a must-read. It's good. This will make you feel old. Bruce Willis is 66 years old today. He burst on the scene in the 80s on Moonlighting, and then, of course, the Die Hard franchise, Pulp Fiction, The Sixth Sense. What's he doing nowadays? I don't know. I haven't seen him for a while. Happy 66th birthday to Bruce Willis. And although I'm not a Dodger fan, I was very happy that Clayton Kershaw finally got a World Series ring. He's going to punch his ticket to the Hall of Fame. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. 9 times an All-Star, National League MVP, 3 times the Cy Young Award. He won the Triple Crown, Gold Glove, led the National League in wins, ERA, strikeouts 3 times each. He's one of the best pitchers throwing the baseball today. Clayton Kershaw, 33 years old today. Going to take a break at the bottom of the hour. Mike Magnotti's got an opinion, and then we had a chance to bring our camera equipment down to Riverfront Park a couple of days ago to talk about spring gardening, the do's and don'ts on getting your garden and your lawn ready to go for spring 2021. Bonnie Orr was my guest, and that's coming up too. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
It's March, and Click It RV Moses Lake has gone mad with huge discounts on a huge selection of top brand RVs, which means the lowest prices, factory incentives, and rebates.
You guys gotta beat the spring rush and get in here now.
Shop online and find the floor plan you like, then build it, price it, and click it. Or come to our huge selection, from travel trailers to fifth wheels, toy haulers to motorhomes. The huge indoor-outdoor RV show is here. Get a better RV and the lowest price guarantee only at Click It RV Moses Lake and ClickItRV.com.
Be a winner like me and get the Click It RV.
Take on the new year in a new Ford from Pat Armstrong Ford. From premium grade muscle to unparalleled performance. Take on any payload. The all-new 2021 Ford F-150 at Pat Armstrong Ford. Take on any adventure. Take on every thrill. The all-new 2021 Bronco Sport and 2021 Mustang Mach-E. Built to take on every resolution at Pat Armstrong Ford. We are community strong in East Wenatchee.
There are so many possibilities for you to learn local right here at Wenatchee Valley College. Take classes towards a degree or certificate in more than 50 areas of study. Wenatchee Valley College now offers a large variety of virtual classes, including labs, sign language, music, and machining, and they have the resources to help you succeed in virtual classes. So when a college degree is your goal, learn local at Wenatchee Valley College.
Homeward bound, I wish I was homeward bound. Home, where my thoughts escaping. Home, where my music's playing. Home, where my love lies waiting silently for me. Silently for me.
Attention, attention, Wenatchee Valley. It's your great opportunity to attend Collins BOGO sale. This is how it works. Buy one red tag clothing sale item and get the second item of equal or lesser value free. We do this twice a year. Help us to clear our fall and winter merchandise and get an amazing bargain. Famous brands such as Joseph Ripkoff, Tribal, French Dressing, Liverpool, Cut, etc. Come see us at Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
Wenatchee Power Sports not only has a new owner, but an all-new attitude to match. Speaking of attitude, check out the 2021 models arriving now. Polaris snowmobiles, ATVs and side-by-sides. Yamaha motorcycles, watercraft ATVs and side-by-sides. KTM motorcycles and the latest edition Beta high-performance motorcycles. Coming this fall, a huge demo event featuring the latest and hottest off-road machines. It's all at the retuned Wenatchee Power Sports, where maximum performance is a way of life. 3031 GS Center Road in North Wenatchee, open Tuesday through Saturday.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, many American Christians want a Christian president, one who honors God, prays, seeks divine wisdom, doesn't sleep with prostitutes, maybe. Now, I'm all for that too, but we have to understand there are things about leading this country and adhering to the oath of office that don't exactly jive with what Jesus taught us. Now, seriously, when 9/11 happened, did you really want George W. Bush to go to Osama bin Laden and turn the other cheek? Being an American and swearing to defend the Constitution are not mutually compatible with Christianity. Sorry, they're just not. Now, interestingly, we had a president some years ago, a very devout man whose life exemplified his Christian values as much as any of ours do, I guess. And this president even continued to teach a Sunday school class while he was in office. Despite this, many right-wing Christians really didn't like him. Yeah, Jimmy Carter, go figure. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Hi, Stephen DeVilbus here, Branch Manager of Beneficial and Home Care. We are an equal opportunity employer and we do not discriminate in employment or services. It is our mission to maximize our clients' physical health and sense of mental well-being while remaining in the comfort of their home. We are currently seeking professional caregivers who share our mission to help our clients live safely and comfortably at home. Call Beneficial and Home Care. Schedule your interview today. 509-663-7900.
Boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bob File Boats and Motors. See their full line of Crown Line boats. Crown Line features the Forte gel coat, which perfectly accentuates the sporty silhouette of this boat. Its contours are further enhanced by Crown Line's patented fast tab hull design, which not only embraces the distinctive sports car styling, but also ensures a safe and comfortable ride. See Crown Line boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Bob File Boats and Motors, we're dealing. Bob File's gonna make you smile.
How much are you paying for adult, family, or assisted living? Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living offers one-bedroom apartments for one affordable price. Their rates are all-inclusive, no nickel or diming or sudden increases, just one set price. You or your loved one will receive good food and excellent care in a relaxed, home-like environment. Stop on by for a tour to see if the Epladolin family is the right choice for you.
Family-owned and operated Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living in Cashmere. Affordable care.
By working together as a community, we can all play a part in promoting children's well-being and strengthening families. April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Chelan Douglas CASA is dedicated to supporting families and reducing the risk of child abuse and neglect. Join us in our community-wide Pinwheel project and help keep kids safe. If you suspect a child is being abused or neglected, please call 1-866-363-4276.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. At 2:37 in the blessed AM on Saturday is the vernal equinox. For those people who don't know what that means, it means spring.
Yay!
Now, as we tape this, Bonnie, we have just gone past the 12-hour mark. We now have 12 hours and 1 minute of daylight here in the Wenatchee Valley. As of this taping, we're gaining about 3.5 minutes of daylight a day.
Until June.
Until June. That's another story altogether. Before we dive into the do's and don'ts for spring gardening, and this is the important stuff, and this is why Bonnie is here, our good friend, winter 2020-2021 in a nutshell from a gardening perspective, another
Well, no, yeah, a bare winter. We had an open winter for sure. We had that little bit of cold, but not severe cold. We never got down into the real colds. Maybe enough to kill some buggies. Who knows?
And that brings up a certain point, and
it's dry though. It's dry.
It was a dry winter.
Yeah, and it's also dry month. No precipitation so far in March.
In fact, it's been a very benign month, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Very quiet.
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
is there?
the sunny days have been nice to go out and weed. And
so the first people, and that's the first thing people do when the weather gets sunny and warmer, they kind of jump the gun a little bit, don't they? They can't wait to get out there and get planting.
Okay, the soil this morning was 41.5.
Which is not enough.
50. And if you see all those plants at big box stores, you do not want to buy them. I mean, I know you want the choice and all that, but roots die below 60, and at 50, or they suffer below 60, and at 50 they just go, forget it.
Can you buy them and keep them alive until it's warm enough to plant, or you just take chances
Yeah, you can. And you leave them in the pot, hope, and take them out during the day, bring them in at night. But the ground is too cold. Yeah.
It's simple as that.
Yeah.
50 is the magic number.
Yeah, and that's when you do all the lawn care stuff, the thatching and the pre-emergence, because that's when you want the pre-emergent down. Forsythia blooms at 50. Dandelions bloom at 55.
Now, is that 50-degree mark, is that a rule of thumb for anything that you're going to plant in the ground, regardless of whether It's a root. It has roots that you're just going to plant the roots, or it has a ball, or you're planting a vegetable or a flower or a bush. Is that 50 degree is just the rule of thumb, or is it different for different
50
things?
is minimum. Okay, so I even wrote a little list. Okay, so if you want to grow broccoli, cabbage, or eggplant, believe it or not, the soil needs to be in the 60s. Okay, if you're going to plant seed, watermelon, squash, peppers, cantaloupe, 85.
That seems mild.
Tomatoes, 80, okay? I never plant I always leave a few cherry tomatoes out, and when they come up in the spring, it's usually the end of May. When those seeds sprout, I go, it's tomato weather. So then I put my tomatoes in.
What kind of vegetables can you plant at the 50 degree mark or higher without having to worry about the soil being up to in the 80s? For
Peas.
Peas.
Peas, spinach, radishes, probably.
What about potatoes?
Sure,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But you know what? If it's a little bit warmer, they will be a little happier.
Okay.
See, the thing is, okay, so you can plant peas at 40, and it takes 18 days for them to come up. Why not wait 18 days when the soil is warmer?
Basically, the longer you wait, the more patient you are. In the end, you're going to get a better result.
Because more of the seeds will not rot.
It's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that.
Speaking of seeds and speaking of starters, we still have the Arbor Day thing going on. I know it's virtual this year. Remind people of how that works.
Okay, so Greater Wenatchee Arbor Day Association. Go online. It will put you into a link with the City of Wenatchee, because they have the City of Wenatchee very nicely. Dave Erickson put up the thing for the order form, and you just follow the order form, and there are huckleberries, there are there's paperbark birch and golden currant, and they are all beautiful. They all attract birds. And
they will thrive in this area
if
you plant them in the correct spot.
And we would like a donation of $2.25, because that's what it cost us to buy them, and that way we can have more for next year. Anyway, Greater Wenatchee Arbor Day Association. The pickup date for the plants is April 10th, and it's at the Wenatchee Cemetery. We're only doing the one site this year, and there will be. If you didn't get things ordered and there's still things left after about 11 o'clock on that day, you can come. You can't come before then, because people who have ordered will be picking up their
Take it
orders.
first in line, and there's a finite number of these available, and that's it.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
Yeah, that's it.
But anyway, everything is still available as of today.
We're down here at Riverfront Park, not too far from the Xeriscape Garden. In fact, they have a work party going on. The lawn looks pretty good here, but they have great professionals who handle this.
But look at see, the lawn is not green yet.
It's not green yet.
Because it's not 50 degrees.
It's not 50. Same deal. The lawn is still sleeping, so to speak.
So if you're putting product down now, you're wasting it.
You're wasting it. What if you didn't do squat to your yard come last fall? You didn't rake, and you didn't pick up, and you didn't mow, and you kind of just got lazy.
You have at least 2 or 3 weeks to do that now.
Okay.
And you know, last year I didn't garden a lot because I had rotator cuff surgery. So I have some weeding to do, and that's what I've been doing. I've been out doing a little bit of weeding. This is the time to do it. And if you weed now and then mulch, you don't weed the rest of the year.
And keep in mind, weeds don't care about what the soil temperature is.
No.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. Any other spring lawn care tips while the lawn is still somewhat, it's still growing, but it's still somewhat dormant?
Yeah, right. And so you aren't going to put any product down or anything until it's 50, till it's growing. I would definitely pick up the leaves, okay? I don't think we have any problems with snow mold this year. Not enough snow.
The building boom continues. A lot of people are going to be first-time home buyers. For the first time ever, they're going to have a lawn, and they're going to have a blank canvas. Either they're going to they're going to plant grass, or they're going to have the hydro seeders come in, or even the solder folks who come in and basically instant lawn. The do's and don'ts on grass, as far as what grass goes best here in this area. The grass that maybe doesn't need a lot of maintenance, as opposed to those you have to cut twice a week.
Well, if you're cutting it twice a week, you're over-watering and over-fertilizing.
Okay, that's simple enough.
That's simple enough. I mean, why make more work for yourself? So it's really interesting, because most of our lawn blends are two things: fescue and Kentucky bluegrass. And the fescue comes up first and turns green, okay? And then it burns out in July. And no matter how much water you put down, it's not going to come back until September, when it cools off. Then after the ground warms toward the end of April, that's when the Kentucky bluegrass starts. And that just roars along until it gets too cool, and then the fescue takes over again. So that's the blend
So it's
usually.
fescue and then Kentucky bluegrass.
Primarily, and there's other grasses too. There's perennial rye, blah blah blah.
But those two are actually, and they're also very hardy.
Yes,
aren't they?
They work for us.
It's pretty low maintenance, and unless you overdo it, you're going to be fine.
That's right. And why? And also, think about how much lawn you want to take care of. Perhaps there's something else you can put into place. And if you're struggling with the lawn under a tree because of the shade and the tree roots, take it out and put down mulch. I mean,
you mentioned this is a great time for weeding. You can get ahead of the game there. What if you don't want to get on your hands and knees and pull weeds? What if you just want to? Dead weeds.
I have to tell you something. There is a really growing concern about weed herbicide resistance. And herbicide resistance, when it happens, it never unhappens, okay?
It's one and done, and you've done damage.
Exactly, and if you're doing Roundup on annual weeds, and when they come up, use a hoe. Use a hoe. I mean, I'm not kidding you. It is really, really a serious concern. And the main reason is that if homeowners create these herbicide-resistant weeds, the seed goes with birds, wind, on your track, on your tires. You drive up on the plateau and you plant them up there, and the wheat farmers are not going to be happy. It's serious. So,
86 the chemicals if you can do it. Just don't use them, right?
No, well, the thing is that, like Roundup and other herbicides, were not designed to be used every week. They were designed for one-time thing on really tough stuff. But people get lazy, and they don't want to even do the little bit. The other thing is, if you read the label, I mean, people who use it on their gravel driveway, is it labeled for the gravel driveways? No, you have to see. And also, the other thing that creates problems with weed resistance or herbicide resistance, people say, oh, a little bit is good, more is better. Or it's too expensive, I'll just use less. The thing that it tells you exactly how much to use in your mix. You have to use exactly that. Otherwise, the plant is not dying, and it sort of goes, whoop, I can live through this, and I'm going to put out some seeds. Yeah.
Don't want that.
We don't want that.
We don't want that.
Anyway, it's a serious concern. Serious concern.
A great number of people who live in north central Washington are on the ditch, as we always call it.
Yep, the irrigation,
yes. The irrigation canal. That won't be on for quite some time. And normally, Bonnie, as a rule of thumb, the first couple of weeks that the ditch is on and charged, and you're able to access your part of the irrigation ditch. Usually the water's pretty dirty, lots of seeds.
No, not necessarily. There are some, I would say 2 days.
Okay.
2 days. But then the algae starts to grow as the heat fills up. There's not that many. It washes out in a couple of days. It's not a problem. It is time to prune your roses.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, the little rose leaves are coming out a little bit early, and that's okay. The reason you want to prune without before the full leaves come out is that you can see the structure, okay? And so this is, look at here.
Yep. And we did a Green Thumbs and Dirty Knees episode on rose pruning. We've done a couple of them, as a matter of fact. You can be really aggressive. Rose bushes are very hardy.
That's right. You can't do something wrong. They'll come back.
Yeah, rose bushes are very hardy, and you can be really aggressive because they're going to bounce right back.
Yeah.
And they'll be happy.
Right, yes.
They'll be happy roses. What else we have here?
If you have fruit trees, be aware of the fact that you are required for codling, moth control, and cherry fruit fly, you are required by law to take care of that. You can do it conventionally, or you can do it with inorganic. And
if you have a cherry tree in your yard, or apricot tree, or whatever, a peach tree, you don't want it, just get rid of it, because you're going to have to maintain it.
Can you eat 300 pounds of cherries?
I can't. Well, I can, but my coworkers would not be fans of mine after a while, I can tell you that.
No,
much.
but I know.
It makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Yeah. And so...
I had to pay the neighbor kids to come and pick all the plums off my tree, and they were terrible once they fell to the ground. Then they were really messy.
I know it. Yeah. And I have a neighbor who has an uncontrolled apricot tree, which all falls into my yard, and then the hornets come and blah blah blah. Not taking care of things.
Speaking of, well, not hornets, but wildlife. Good time to plant certain things that would attract birds and the kinds of things you want hanging around to enjoy your garden.
Water.
Oh, that's right. They need water all the time.
Yeah. Water will attract them more than anything else, but you have to clean it every other day. It's really interesting. People say, God, robins are so dirty because they always, expel into the water. Well, the reason they do, they get their feathers all wet, right? And then they're a little bit heavier. And so in order to ensure that they take off, they pass out things. They leave fecal matter in the water because they have to be lighter in order to take off. And that's the reason for it.
I had no idea.
Oh, the things you learn, right?
Welcome to the National Geographic Channel, all rights reserved. You had a couple more. You sent me notes, but you had some extra things, so I want to get those done.
Soil test.
Oh, yes. Oh, great article in the Wenatchee World from one of your cohorts about the importance of getting your soil test.
Right. Lloyd Thompson.
Your soil it is so worth the money because you're going to know what you need to do.
You spend $100 and you're going to waste that much money on adding things that are not necessary, things that are going to wash into the groundwater. And we get people all the time, there's something wrong with my soil. Have you had a soil test? Well, many times it's other things, but a soil test, a $100 one, okay, so that you really know about your soil fertility. It's important.
And they're going to tell you exactly what you need. You need to add a little bit of this, or you need to take out some of that.
Or don't add any more fertilizer because your soil has too much nitrogen already.
Right.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Especially important for those people who are either first-time home buyers or people who are moving from one house to another here in the Wenatchee Valley.
Or moving here from the other side of the mountains for the first time and not really understanding how our soils are very different than those on the other side.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Usually, sometimes they're a little sandier, sometimes they're a little loamier. Depends on
alkaline,
right.
yeah.
And they could be literally different kinds of soil within half a mile of each other.
Oh, absolutely.
It's that varied. Anything else, Bonnie, on this?
Oh, let's see. We have to look at the notes that we were thinking about talking about.
I think we've got about everything except the backside of your notes that I didn't.
Oh, right. Which the backside of my notes was the temperatures. Hours of sunlight and shade.
Okay. As we get more sunlight, it's a good time to bring that up.
So what it is that people grow things and they don't thrive, and so what happens is that the thing, full sunlight is 8 hours of straight light, 6 to 8 hours of light directly on the ground, not kind of like this. This doesn't count as sunlight. It's sunlight directly on the ground. And so if it says full sun, it means full sun, and it's going to languish otherwise. Okay, so that's one of the things is to determining how much sun you have. And I have to tell you, I've had a vegetable garden. My vegetable garden is in the middle of my lawn because I want to look at it.
Sun.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't?
No. What is really interesting is that I've been taking pictures during the year, as a record. Lo and behold, half of my garden does not get full sun until 11 o'clock because the shadow of the house.
Okay, and you have a couple of sizable trees too in your backyard.
No, it's not. This is tree. This is house shadow. House shadow. And I never even thought about it. So, anyway.
We did a fascinating show last spring. You probably remember last summer. We went to a certain relative's house. I'm not going to mention my brother Eric's name because I told him I wouldn't. But we discovered that he inherited a garden that when it was first planted 30 years ago, it thrived. But 30 years later, all of these big trees had grown up around the garden, and it wasn't getting that direct sun.
Oh, yeah, he couldn't even grow potatoes.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, he took your advice and did everything that you thought that should be done to the house, the backyard. He did all of it. So he's very happy.
Pretty wonderful, huh?
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
One more piece of advice from Bonnie Orr as we welcome the vernal equinox. I'll let you have the final word, young lady.
Have fun gardening. Gardening is not work. Oh, I have to go work in the garden. I know. Come on now. It's a hobby, it's enjoyable. And if you have a lawn that you are using petrochemicals on and mowing and you never go out on it except to mow it, think of doing something else instead of lawn.
Maybe something like a xeriscape, which is what we're at here
right
now.
Doing something to, the thing is that we're worried about water. Last year, we barely made 6 inches of precipitation for the year.
Remember, it did not rain one time during the entire summer of 2020 that was measurable. Not one.
I know. See, and so, the Sahara gets more rain, and so.
Keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind.
And another piece of advice, and I learned this from Bonnie, if you're going to plant a vegetable garden, plant foods you're going to eat. Don't plant foods that you're going to give to your neighbors and your friends and your coworkers. Plant the foods that you want to eat, and you'll be much happier.
See, he just thinks that I have the last word. He's giving the last word.
Cucumbers. Cucumbers. I can never have enough of them. Happy vernal equinox.
Happy vernal equinox.
Don't forget the pickup date for Arbor Day is April 10th.
And go online, Greater Wenatchee Arbor Day
You look very
Association.
spring-like.
Yeah, I thought
Yes,
so.
I
yes.
still got the gray winter
Yeah,
stuff
no,
on
I
it.
wanted to be spring-like.
We'll get there. We love spring, and
Yeah.
we love living in North Central Washington. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Brian Snyder with Black Rock Asphalt Services here in Wenatchee, your local Black Rock seal coat company. Have you looked at your driveway or parking lot lately? Is it gray and oxidized? Does it have cracks that have not been taken care of? Or do you have striping that is pretty much non-existent? Please give us a call locally here, 509-665-9769. Learn more at blackrockasphaltsealcoating.com.
Save Mart is the place to go if you are in the market for home furnishings. They have rows and rows of sofas, love seats, recliners, and chairs in a vast array of fabrics and colors. Name brands include Ashley, Best, and Stanton. With pictures, lamps, and tables to complement your new furniture, Save Mart is a one-stop shop. Save Mart offers 12-month special financing on approval of credit. Save Mart also offers free delivery, setup, and haul away in their service area. Serving the Wenatchee Valley for over 50 years. Located on North Wenatchee Avenue or visit online at savemart.net.
Getting the vaccine is the way that all of us can pitch in, take care of our community, and get back to normal.
And for the longest time, the only tool that we have had to fight COVID-19 was this, a mask. But now we have the vaccine.
Yo recibí la vacuna por mi hija, mi familia, amigos y comunidad.
I believe it is my responsibility as a member of our community to get vaccinated.
We have a commitment to our customers, our employees, our families, and our community to keep each other safe.
¿Por qué es importante ser vacunado? Significa tomar en serio la gente que podrá vivir o podría morir de COVID.
It's not just for me, it's for us.
It doesn't matter whether it's the Moderna vaccine, the Pfizer, or the Johnson & Johnson. Please, just get vaccinated.
So por favor, haga una cita y vacúnese hoy.
Make a date to vaccinate.
Make a date to vaccinate.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
And we're back here in Studio 4 in downtown Wenatchee on this Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, 19th day of March 2021, last day of spring. Again, the vernal equinox is tonight in the morning, 2:37 in the morning is when spring officially arrives. Had a beautiful day yesterday. We had 62 as officially measured up at Pangborn Memorial Airport, and that's the first time since November 5th that we got above 60 degrees. We had quite a bit of sunshine, and then of course the clouds rolled in and it trapped the heat, and then we even had a little bit of light rain. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but right around sunset last night, a little bit of light rain came down for about 2-3 hours. Almost didn't even really register on the rain gauge at Pangborn, but we did have a little bit of light rain, and now we're going to cool right back down again. Friendly reminder that 62 degree mark was a bit of an anomaly. So, because what came in with the rain was a cold front. It's going to cool down our temperatures from the National Weather Service. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. Sunshine today, another beautiful day. Cooler, obviously, than yesterday. We'll be in the mid-50s for the afternoon high. Little light wind at times as the cold front pushes through the region. The last remnants of it, anyway, are still hanging around. Cloudy tonight, no rain in the forecast. Just clouds, light wind, 35 for the overnight low. We'll be bundled up at Kashmir for the Pear Bowl. Sunshine Saturday for the most part. It's going to be breezy at times on Saturday with a high of 55, and then Saturday night, cloudy again, 35 for the overnight low. So we're going to have sunshine during the daylight hours and clouds in the evening hours. Until we get to Sunday, it's going to be cloudy most of the day. Cooler still with a high of only in the lower 50s. No real rain in the forecast Sunday, just cloudy and cool. And then we're going to see a little ridge building off our area, but it's only going to last for about a day and a half. Then it's going to start breaking down on Wednesday. We're going to warm up a little bit on Tuesday, Wednesday, on into Thursday as we officially welcome spring. All in all, really just not a lot of weather out. It's been this way for, weeks now. Nothing really crazy weather-wise to talk about. One quick reminder, it is going to snow in the mountain passes on Sunday night. If you have travel passes on Sunday night, about 3 to 7 inches of snow. Don't forget we have the Pear Bowl tonight at 7 o'clock. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.